y'all. How you perking? I hope you perking good. So, it's time for one of our big ones this year. At the start of every year, we always do two really big videos. One being the entire year of 2025 predictions worldwide, open internationally. And then we do another one after that of the entire year of 2025, specifically for the United States. So today is our worldwide international reading here, where we're going to cover things from anywhere across the globe in 2025. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff to get into, so we'll just see wherever this takes us. I'm going in here with no plan and just gonna be at the mercy for whatever ride the universe takes us on as we look into this here. So first and foremost, Happy New Year to everybody here watching. We have all officially made it to 2025, which means we're basically halfway through this decade. The COVID stuff hit in 2020, and somehow we are basically almost halfway through the decade. How weird is that? It's weird to me. I don't know if y'all feel weird sitting in that. I feel weird sitting in that. So anyway, if you're new here, then I am a licensed mental health clinician. I also am a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we take a look at the tea with the tarot. Don't be freaked out. I got a good track record here on the channel. Got plenty of videos to binge watch and see the accuracy, and folks that have been here for a long time that can attest to that. So happy to have you here, and why not just go ahead and bring up the cards since I already showed them. I can go ahead and move this microphone, right here. Oh, Penelope. Got her in purple, trying to match here. Just trying to give myself a little energy. As y'all saw in my most recent video, the just general month of January predictions for 2025, I had a bit of a head cold in that, so I still may have some sniffles every once in a while, or some every once in a while. Please forgive me if those things come out. I feel much better. I'm sure you can tell I have more energy than I did in that recent video, but I still have some lingering little things here and there to contend with. So thank you for your patience as I navigate that the best I can. So let's go ahead and get shuffled up here so we can dive right on into these. Everything here is all legit, just my interpretation, as you can see over there. All legit, just my interpretation. We gotta say that for the YouTube overlords to not get pissed off at whatever is about to come out here. So let's just see if we open it up and ask the spirit guides and light beings surrounding us, what are we allowed to know about the year of 2025 anywhere across this globe, anywhere on God's green earth? What are we allowed to know about 2025? Let's just see where they start. What an interesting way to start this. We're just gonna roll with it. Now, there are a couple of things here that stand out to me as I'm pulling this and reading it. I want a context card on this to see if they're pulling out a certain person in particular here, or if this is just kind of an idea or an overall, because some of y'all who've been here for a minute are going to recognize that card. Yeah, okay, so even if we're talking about worldwide, I guess we're stopping for a moment here to talk about the United States first for a little bit. Those of y'all who watch these videos know that sometimes when I get my Emperor card coming out, it stands for Donald Trump. So President-elect Donald Trump. And I just wanted to check and make sure if it looked like we were talking like that, if we were going somewhere else with this reading. But I'm getting him in this reverse position with a Three of Pentacles also in reversed on top of him. And so I think this is talking about him. Now, when I'm seeing this with his card in reverse and a reverse Three of Pentacles on him, this is not a good sign. This is a sign that kind of looks like him struggling in some kind of a way and being surrounded by not great people to be surrounded by, people that would not be the right kind of people to have around in whatever this circumstance is referring to. As I'm looking at these other cards around, this is about trying to make a decision, and basically from that, we're ending up in a place of, for lack of a better way of putting it, kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, based on whatever this decision that has to be made related to Trump is. And all of this comes after this build. So what we're seeing here, first and foremost, is some kind of a build of, like, y'all know this card, kind of shifty stuff going on, things that are deep and dark and behind the surface, and some squabbling, conflict, things like that. So let me just go ahead and put this out there again in case you happen to be new to the channel. I'm not a reader that has some kind of, big major political affiliation or leaning one way or the other. I am an actual true independent. I know a lot of people say I'm an independent, and people are like, that's a cop out. You need to choose one way or another. I really am an independent. Like, if you talk about where do you stand on this issue versus this one versus this one versus this one versus this one, all these issues, I'm going to be leaning right one minute, left another minute, and back and forth in some weird zigzag pattern, because I really don't fall on either side. I just truly don't. And so I've been honest on this channel to say I did vote in our recent election here last November, and I did not vote for either Kamala or Trump. I voted my conscience like people tell us to do, and neither of them were a part of my conscience. So I don't hate either of those individuals. I don't love either of those individuals. So I have to always put that out there in case there's new people. You just got to keep saying it. Sorry for the repeats for everybody who's heard it 18,000 times before. But it's because what I'm seeing here, like I said, is some kind of a buildup of shifty things in the dark that people have been conflicted about, and that somehow leads to something not going well for Trump because of the people surrounding him, and there's a decision to be made based on based on things related to him, and it sets us into a weird mixed bag of feeling damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I don't know what this means exactly, except for that the energy of this feels surprising, frustrating, and a touch chaotic. So I'm not too happy to see whatever's coming up like this. I'm just going to pull a little bit more context on it, but I don't want to, dwell too much on one single issue here if we've got to read several different things for the whole damn year. If we need to dive into any particular thing that comes up in here, if y'all are like, whoa, hold on, we need a video specifically for that thing, then, that can be done. But this just is kind of an overall video today. I don't know if y'all saw that card that just flew out here, but there was a card that flew out, so I'm going to take it, put it right here. Pentacles card, both upright, both high pentacles, and then a reversed Fool card. That's very interesting to have these two pentacles come out as kind of the context cards, the furthering of the story in an upright position. This is all about power, money, status, whoever's got the goods kind of thing, whatever we can make things work. And the Fool card in reverse is kind of an instability. It's kind of, someone took a leap and there was no safety net to catch their fall. It's card that is quite serious when it's in a reverse position like this. It's the complete opposite of this carpe diem, laissez-faire type of, loose and happy attitude. It's quite, stern and like, okay, this is something big. This is something serious. So I don't feel like this particularly clears up whatever the issue is around him. It just adds to the context that this is highly, highly complicated and that there is a lot of money, power, and status at stake here, and that it is a serious issue. Dare I ask for a little bit more? Some kind of big partnerships having to come up and out as a result of this. Some kind of like, all right, we're going to have this allyship now coming up and out of this. It's going to be important to partner up in this kind of a way. And Magician card is like really having to kind of take all the pieces and parts and make something of it and just make it work. Like they're putting that, what is that guy's name? This is a show I haven't watched in like 15 years. That Project Runway show or whatever. I swear I've not watched that show in like 15 years. But they're showing me that older guy. What is it, like Tom Gunn or something like that? That's like, make it work. Make it work. They're showing me like him being like, make it work. So something obviously going wrong, quote unquote, and this whole make it work. That's the video visual I'm getting on a loop here about this issue. So this is a wild one. I'm suspecting that the fact that I've asked for context now like 3 separate times, and I get context as in here's elements involved in this thing. Here are some extra tidbits you can know about it, but they're not telling me what it is. They're like dancing around the bush. There must be a reason for that. There must be some reason why I can't know the thing. And I imagine that once this unfolds and all of these details become clear, it'll be like, that's why you weren't able to say this thing flat out, because it could be a safety issue. It could be, you're going to get in trouble issue. It could be any number of things. I've learned when to, know my place as a messenger of how far to go. I'm going to leave this one here for now. Since I'm going to be doing a video specifically about the inauguration coming up, then it's possible that any number of these things could come up in that video too. So don't know. Guess we'll find out when I do that one. There's a lot of videos planned for this month, so if you're not subscribed, you might want to hit that button and do the little notification bell thing, set it to all, because there's going to be a bunch of videos this month, and I feel like I can't even keep it straight, so I don't even know how y'all would be able to keep me straight, keep it straight, keep my channel straight, whatever. All right, spirit guides, thank you for that. What else can we know about the entire year of 2025 globally, internationally? Things that we can know globally, internationally. Oh, all right. Okay. Damn. Okay. Wow. Alrighty. So, a couple of different things that we're working with here. It does not escape our attention, I'm sure, that the Three of Swords here is, front and center. This is a heartache type of card. It comes up when not so great things happen. And in this case, being presented right next to it with this Five of Pentacles in reverse, that to me is more of kind of this weather related stuff. Now I know in my January predictions video there was stuff coming up like that, and since then there are now cities around the states that are like, we're gonna have a freeze in our area like we haven't had in quite some time. It's going to be more intense than usual. And I've heard in pockets around the world that other locations are like, yeah, we're hitting colder spots than usual, or those down south being like, we're hitting, warmer spots than usual and stuff like that. I am getting some sense here that that kind of extremes with the weather stuff is really just going to be quite a bit more prominent in 2025. So it's already been a thing thus far, and a lot of people are saying, that's because of climate change stuff, or, whatever. Some people are like, that's just weather, that's just what happens. Some people are like, no, it's literally a climate change thing. I don't care what you believe around that. I'm just seeing it in here, okay? Whatever you think is causing it, I'm seeing it in here for 2025. Again, internationally, an uptick in extreme weather stuff. So we're talking extreme cold, we're talking extreme heat, we're talking more of these spreading fires around, or more, earthquakes, or creating tsunamis or floods, or all of that kind of stuff. When you're thinking weather and natural disasters, really am in 2025 seeing an uptick in that. If you happen to know that you live in a zone that has a potential for things like that, if you know, hey, I'm in California on a fault line, maybe just consider how to be prepared and okay and safe and stuff. If you live in a certain city that's prone to fires, again, trying to be okay, figure out how you're going to be okay with that kind of stuff. Just not saying this to be scary to people, saying this as a heads up to, feel a little bit more safe and prepared in whatever ways that you feel like you can do for yourself. Even if that means, what I can do is, in case we had a power outage whenever it was really cold, I'll make sure we have a lot of warm stuff around and some food and water, in the house, or stuff like that, some basics. I'm just seeing a lot more of this. I'm not seeing it as in something that is weather related that, is gonna destroy an entire place for an extended period of time, but I am seeing hey, there's a need to ensure some sort of stability and sufficiency for small chunks of time, for if you're down and out for a little bit or something, kind of like those of us who got hit with Hurricane Helene earlier last year, that kind of thing. So I am seeing more of that. I am also, again, seeing our Seven of Swords card here in reverse, like it was a while ago. And what's interesting with that is because it feels like it goes with these three down here. The Moon card in reverse, Four of Wands in reverse, and a Hierophant card upright. This is our government and institutions card. This is like the House of Cards falling, shifty, manipulative, can't get it together, feeling insecure about my own things, so I take from others to feel better about myself, Moon card in reverse, all the stuff that people are afraid of or worried about or anxious about, everything kind of coming up and out, dark coming to light, all this kind of stuff. There's just a whole lot going on here in just these four cards. And it feels like there's something related to, again, our institutions and stuff, probably governments, that has some instability here. And because of this instability, causing some dark stuff to happen. So I'm just going to pull some more cards on this just to see where this is going. Because my goodness. Strength. Decisions, having to let go of certain things, some people that are not so great, and so they're not making the best decisions for everyone else, poor communication around things, clogging up the cogs that turn, when we have this is a digital watch, but pretending having one of those, analog watches where the gears are all turning together, you know, they're all folding in like this really well. The cogs are turning appropriately. This is kind of that slowing down of the cogs turning. It almost feels kind of, okay. In these videos, I don't make shit up. I don't squeeze things out of the cards that's not there, but I do say what I see. So this is feeling like this, like a similar type of slowing down and getting gunked up as what it felt like when we were going through the COVID stuff. So when we were hit with that in 2020, things slowed down. Like, you know, there were supply chain issues, there were shortages in things. There was just this overall sense of like disarray and chaos, and you know, people had to wait a while for shipments to come in, or for there to be enough this or that coming in, you know, all that kind of stuff that was just short and slow. I'm feeling more of that again here in 2025 coming in. So I guess shortages and slowing down of things that are supposed to function well. I don't know if, well, let's just put a little bit more around that. Just some context around that. Okay, we've got a finance card here, so something related to economies. Okay, this card has come up for multiple different individuals in our recent readings. Not going to assign a name to this unless I see that there are other cards kind of supporting that. Okay. All right, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that in a handful of recent readings from like October, November, you know, through, if we're seeing this card in the past, it has stood a lot for President Joe Biden. In more recent past, it has started to stand for Elon Musk. This card has come up in some of Kamala Harris's readings. So I am getting a bit of a U.S. type of presence coming into some of this. And again, this looks like an international happening of the gears slowing down. But there's something about the U.S. specifically that is coming through about this. So again, just like the COVID stuff was a worldwide kind of slowing down of the gears and things kind of not working out as easily or smoothly, I still see that kind of vibe here, not necessarily meaning another pandemic, you know, not necessarily meaning that, but just meaning some kind of things around the world getting tangled up and for whatever reason, and just the gears not working as smoothly as they used to. And then something about the US kind of coming out here specifically. So let me just see what about that specifically is coming up. Okay. A tower moment. If you don't know me yet, I laugh when I'm nervous on this channel. I mean, what are you gonna do? This is not a beautiful card to see. All right, tell us about this tower. Okay, it's a tower. It's a very emotional kind of tower moment. More emotions, more damned if you do, damned if you don't energy, kind of like it was talking about a while ago with damned if you do, damned if you don't energy. That's coming up again, this kind of feeling of stuckness, like there's no face-saving way out of a certain type of thing. There's no good way past that. Whatever this kind of issue going on that revolves around the United States, this looks like having to really put extra burden on your shoulders and trying to move forward with that. Yes, moving forward with that. So another card that's just kind of reiterating that. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is just this sense of it's taking a hit again. This whole economy thing that kind of came up earlier, this is this kind of taking a hit. So it feels like some kind of economic thing in 2025 where we all globally somehow kind of take a hit in some sort of a way, whether that means worsening inflation or whether that means, God forbid, one of the, wars and things going on in the world having a weird turn about it, or, whether it means any other kind of thing, something happening in the US potentially that kind of gets this stuff going or escalates it. There's just some kind of a weird thing happening that in a lot of ways the US, it either starts there or revolves around something there, or there's something with the US that makes this bigger or more complicated or whatever, but it is a worldwide issue. Just like in the COVID stuff, there was a lot that kind of revolved around China with that, especially because of that being where most of this kind of seemed to start from. But then it was a shared experience across the world. There's some kind of something going on like that here that looks incredibly messy, and it messes up the economy, and it slows how things are meant to go throughout the whole world. Yeah, and this is kind of like it will all roll out in time and we'll see kind of thing. Okay, let me pull more cards. Let me reshuffle all of these back in. And we'll just ask what else in 2025 we can know, whether it ends up being more about this or if it kind of jumps to something else. We'll just see. But I've already got this me laid out and I want to get it shuffled into all of this. So let's do that. And as I am shuffling, on these big kind of videos like this, I almost always need a second video, like an extended video. So that's going to happen here today. I'm pretty positive that we're going to have an extended video. Extended videos are available for channel members, so people who are part of the Perk Squad. So, I'm going to keep reading here, but eventually there's going to be more to read, and I'm going to run out of time here from filming. And so we will have an extended video available on the Perk Squad for anybody who is interested. You can join by clicking the blue join button down below, or whatever color it is now, the join button down below, or the link in the description box. Sometimes Apple users apparently have to put the link into like a web browser or something and kind of go through the website version or something instead of through the app. I don't know what. I'm not an Apple user, I'm an Android user, but I've heard that some Apple folks have said that. But Perk Squad has lots of different perks. Many of them are listed on there if you click the join button or the link, but there's also, some videos get released early for Perk Squad members. Perk Squad members also get a weekly forecast every single week to see what's going to come up. So all of that is there too. And then also video shout outs. So shout out to you, Liz Hausman. I want to say your last name correctly. Shout out to you, Liz. And thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Happy to have you here on the video, on the channel, here with us in the Perk Squad. So thank you, Liz Hausman. I'm so sorry. I want to know how to say your last name. I appreciate you nonetheless, even if my brain can't say your last name appropriately. Hopefully it was one of those two things. Happy to have you here. Thank you. So, all of that there for y'all who are interested. There will be a second extended video to this. But for now, while we're still on this one, pray tell, spirit guides, angels, archangels, light beings, what else can we know about the entire year of 2025 globally? Let's see. What a interesting first card here. Ooh. Okay. So this is interesting in a way that I wasn't necessarily expecting. Something that seemed kind of like more abstract, but like especially getting that we have a death card over here, we've got our Lovers card right here, and being that the Lovers card is literally depicting like the Adam and Eve type of, divine feminine, divine masculine type of theme here. I'm seeing a weird kind of interplay between divine feminine and divine masculine energies coming up here for 2025 globally. So with this death card, this is a change and transformation card, being like, I see something taking a shift over, starting something new, but in a different way than was done before, not the same path taken before, in a new way, a balanced way in divine feminine and masculine. So what this looks like here is I feel like when we've done these kinds of readings in the past, I'd say maybe even past 10 years or so, there's been this kind of sense of this building up of like more divine feminine energy, more, I don't know, like quote unquote power to women, things where it's like there was the Me Too movement and all of that kind of stuff that started where people were really trying to, better understand the issues that women faced, and really trying to do better in that regard and make things better. Some people feel like that worked out well. Some people feel like it didn't hit the mark enough. Some people feel like it overshot and went too far. The way this is showing is that whatever way you think, whether you think it didn't go far enough, it hit it right on, or it went too far, this is showing a leveling out of that this year, some kind of a way. So in a universal sense, it looks like it's going to take some time for that to develop, God bless it. Take some time for that to develop. Mind, mouth, same speed, please. Por favor. It's going to take some time for that to develop and actually kind of see what that will look like. So I don't think that will happen all just within this year. It's probably going to extend beyond this year. But there's going to be some weird stuff coming out with that. So like, oh man, no wonder I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm getting like so many different things at once. I don't even know how to like pause them all and say them all. Like the pictures and stuff that they're giving me is like they're showing if there are, men out there that are feeling like, I understand about the horrible stuff that shouldn't have been going on with women, and I want to, be a helpful ally for that. At the same time, I don't want to get shit on and ragged on and tore through the mud and hated just for being a guy. And I feel like we need some balance here or something. And now I'm feeling more okay to say what I need, or to say what's fair or unfair, or to, I want to speak out or something. Like I'm getting these kind of like things that feel like speaking out, or that type of thing. Almost like how the Me Too movement came through for women. It almost feels like there's some kind of things like that, little uprisings or whatever like that for men. And not to say, like, oh, guys as a whole are, have it so much worse than women or anything like that. Not necessarily. But again, the sense of balance, there's this trying to get a better balance in divine feminine and divine masculine energies, trying to not overshoot one for the other, overcorrect a mistake by overshooting, or trying to I don't know, again, just balance the scales, find some kind of a evenness, a fairness, something that goes well, trying to, instead of, putting one up to the detriment of the other, trying to make it more balanced, whichever way that has looked, throughout time. So this is a really, like I said, this is an abstract one, so this is a harder one to explain. I was not necessarily expecting to see something come up here that was kind of more abstract, but there is some sort of balancing with that. What that tells me, though, in terms of trying to look at things more concretely, anytime you have energies trying to balance themselves out like that, that is not easy, nor is it comfortable. And so in a concrete way, that usually does spill out in weird ways. Think about this. Think about, like, even just picture yourself in your families or whatever, or yourself in your friendship groups, or yourself in relationships over time. If there's ever been a time in your family or friend groups or relationships where you felt like something was not quite balanced and you tried to put it back into balance, did that go over well? Sometimes it does. People are like, oh, let me hear you out. I agree. Let's try to strike a balance. Sometimes it comes off as you're trying to balance something. You're a threat. And there's a big fight back or whatever to that. And a big pushback to being told that things need to be in balance when they were feeling good about how the way things were. So I'm seeing that this could play out in kind of an ugly way in 2025 as the scales try to balance in a universal way, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. And again, globally speaking, we're going to get some pushback from the ways as it tries to settle out. Settling mismatches and trying to get to a middle ground is often not a pretty process. So whatever kind of concrete way you can imagine that might look, we're probably going to see it in 2025. So we might be seeing some upsurging in like this radical feminist versus like really radical, like incel guys, and this kind of gearing up of both sides in some weird extreme way, and then all these people in the middle being like, what the fuck, I just want it to be like that. There's just some weirdness in this. This could even boil down to, like, just to be honest, this could even boil down to, in terms of countries and governments and leadership, where if there was some sort of leadership that was way too hard-nosed masculine, it might start to swing feminine. Or if there was something that was way too loosey-goosey feminine, whatever, nurturing, whatever, it might start to stirn up and get hard. There's just this kind of, again, weird energetic stuff going on, trying to balance out divine feminine and masculine, that I think in a very physical and real way is gonna put us on for a wild-ass ride. So hydrate about it. Hydrate about it. Lord have mercy. Okay, I've been talking for a very long time here. Let me pull this up, reshuffle, see what else we can get on this before going over to the extended. And actually, while I reshuffle this, we were doing a giveaway in the January predictions video where people entered the giveaway, and I gave folks a whole week to enter the giveaway, where we could choose a winner to win a free 15-minute private reading with me. And so I did the random little pick a winner generator, and let's go ahead and put that footage in here real quick before I pull something else so we can see who won for this January giveaway. Alrighty, here we are, ready to pick a winner from the January 2025 predictions video with the word win somewhere in their comments. So let's see who the generator chooses to be our winner for a free 15-minute private tarot reading with me. And drumroll, here we go. So congratulations to you, Joanna E.D. Congratulations, you are the winner. Alrighty, congratulations again. And, just send me an email at BeasTalksAndTarot@gmail.com, and I will link you up to how you can redeem your prize. So for anybody who did not win, no worries. I am going to do a giveaway every single month on this channel. So whenever we do the February 2025 predictions video, we will open up another giveaway for another person to win a free 15-minute private tarot reading with me. So, again, find a way to be here on the channel at that time, subscribe to a bell, whatever it is, write yourself reminders like me and my phone and my 80 million reminders just to try to help you to be here so that you can be a part of those giveaways that we do every month. And for everybody else that's like, you know what, I want a reading that's longer than 15 minutes, or I want other stuff, and I don't want to have to wait or whatever, then you can book a private reading with me at BeasTalksAndTarot.com. You can book a private reading with me, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you can also book a Reiki Energy healing if you want any kind of cleansing and clearing and, checking out where your chakras are and what kind of things that you need to know, or, just help your body kind of thing clear up and out. I've got that there. I've also got intuitive healing sessions on my website for anybody that's like, I'm stressed, I'm unsatisfied, I need help kind of getting some things from my past squared away so I can move forward, or getting things from my present figured out so I can move forward, whatever kind of thing. That is also there on my website. And then if you just want to learn to read the cards the way I read the cards, also right there on the website, BeasTalksAndTarot.com. So everything over there. And congratulations again to the winner. And I will do another one in February for everyone else too. So yeah. Anywho, what else can we know about the entire year of 2025, Spirit Guides? Across the entire globe. Okay. We got two totally different kind of things on these rows, so this is just very interesting to see how they put it right here. So just two different things here. I'll actually do the bottom first. I feel like that will be easier because this is another abstract one. This is less abstract, more physical and clear. So I'm going to start there. With this Justice card, it's a balancing act, but it's also about legalities and conversations about what's fair and legal and makes sense and is moral and ethical and all of that kind of stuff. Ten of Pentacles, big booming, big industry, big developments. Magician card, just the sky is the limit of really turning one thing into something else. So this looks like huge developments going on this year. High dollar developments going on this year in such a big way that legality and ethics starts getting discussed about it. So this could mean, just from the first thing that's popped into my head here, it may not be this, but it could be, because the first thing that popped in my mind is stuff like, how we have recently been doing, this whole ChatGPT, OpenAI, all this kind of discussions about AI and where that's going. It could be this sense of like a booming industry of this, sky's the limit, crazy magical stuff that's happening to the point that we have to start firming up ethics and legalities. That could be that. It could also be other things that have this same thing. It may not just be one thing. So it could be AI stuff. It could also, in addition to that, be other things. So this doesn't have to mean just one category of things that starts booming to the point that we have to talk about, the ethics and legalities around it. There could be multiple different sectors that we find this happening in. Again, too, from what we were just saying, with this being a balancing act year of divine masculine and feminine, if the divine masculine starts to try to push to get it itself, to have more energy, to find balance. Like if the divine masculine feels like it's down here and it needs to push more to get up, that is in line with, having big ambitious leaps forward in these, major financial pursuits, investments, a lot of, innovative inventions and things like that has a lot of divine masculine energy behind that kind of a thing. It's this pushing forward and progress and ambition and money and power and that very much does. So it's possible that as we're in that weird tango trying to find a balance between the divine masculine and feminine, that could be one of the masculine overshoots, is seeing that kind of a thing happen. So very, very interesting, which might mean that this abstract thing that I'm seeing here could be a quote unquote symptom of divine feminine trying to kind of get in there, with some being reflective and being nurturing and, finding some sort of inner enlightenment through self-reflection and, this kind of pulling inward and caretaking that versus the outward punch and energetic, forward movement. It's kind of an opposing energy of that. And again, don't get me wrong, divine feminine and divine masculine, neither one are bad. We need both within ourselves and within the whole for things to work out well. It is not going to work out well if that is out of balance. So I'm not vilifying either one. It's just that one pushes really hard. It's gonna, potentially cause some weird shit that we don't want to have to go through. But up here, in this deeply reflective and an emotional and caretaking type of process, what this is giving me, it's like they're playing out this movie scene where some person is being like, why the fuck am I doing this? Just whether they're saying that about their career or a relationship that they're in, whether it's friendship, a family member, romantic relationship with coworkers, whatever it is, or with their self being like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this within myself or to myself? Why am I doing this within this relationship or putting up with this within this relationship? Why am I doing this with my career, with my life? This is, supposed to be my life passion, or I'm supposed to, whatever. This sense of getting really reflective in 2025 and being like, having some kind of should have had a V8 moment and just like almost zooming out, watching yourself and your life having these things happen and being like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this? Or why am I allowing this? Or why am I being a part of this? Or why am I trying so hard to do it this way when really I just need to get out of Dodge? Or why am I allowing these things to happen? Get up and take responsibility and start doing something, or, whatever it is, whatever the enlightenment should have had a V8 moment is, it comes out of this place of like, why am I doing this? And it could be relative to any kind of thing, that big, like, whoa type of moment. I'm seeing that kind of a theme play out big time in 2025. And it's kind of a call to action to be like, I gotta get more in line with what I want. I gotta get more, in line with my authentic desires, what I need, what I want, what I'm gonna do. Like, I just see that type of theme coming out in a big way. It could be one huge moment that smacks you really hard this year, or it could be several smaller moments that every time they happen, you're like, oh my gosh, here's another one. Like, holy shit, it's happening again. Something else that's kind of giving me that vibe. Like, it could happen in several different ways, but I'm seeing that play out too. So, Y'all, there's a lot of stuff coming up here. I've been talking for almost an hour now, so I'm going to go ahead and close this up and move on to the extended video. If y'all want to see the rest of what else can we know about 2025 around the world, then, you know, head on over to the Perk Squad with the join button down below, link in the description box, and meet me over there. We will do that over there. But I have been going on and on and on for so long about all this. This is kind of an intense way to end, is just seeing that, again, interplay with the divine feminine and masculine and where that leaves us. So, yeah, this is going to be a wild year, an intense year, a roller coaster of a year, but a year where we can grow an awful lot. So that's a positive, even if the experience of it might not feel so positive as we're going through it all the time. But anywho, got a U.S. specific one coming up here shortly. Again, an inauguration video I need to do as well this month before Inauguration Day, which is what, the 20th? So all that stuff coming. And I will put a B-roll here on the end of this video. If you would like to have something to lift you up, make you smile, make you laugh, whatever, I'll put a little B-roll of little puppy shenanigans or something here at the end of the video. So always like to lift the mood at the end so that if we talk about anything big or serious or heavy, that people can kind of walk away smiling or whatever. So stay tuned for the B-roll. And everybody, for the Perk Squad Extended, I will see you here in just a second. So don't be a stranger. Come back and see me, and I will talk at you later. But let me... Bye, y'all. Why do you want transport like this? If he wants to be transported, he won't walk by himself right now. Watch if I stop. Watch what he does. He starts looking around like, why'd you stop? He wants to ride.
You're right.
Why'd you stop?
You're right to the water bowl.
Now he's gonna bite his sister and his brother. He's about to start war. Oh, he's humping Izzy while he's trying to get Izzy too. Oh no, what's happening here? This isn't where the video was supposed to go. What's going on?